Hey guys, it's Makanor, and I just wanted to talk about chimeras and hybrids in the Otherkin community and what's my thoughts on it. And so I'm going to be going into definitions and, what I personally think chimeras and hybrids, what I think they should be like, or what I think is, what I think chimeras and hybrids and the Otherkin community are like. Um, Personally, like just a disclaimer. I'm not talking about the Greek monster as that type of chimera. I'm talking about just in the sense and definition. And the other kin community, I think I think it is possible for someone to be a hybrid or a chimera. Like if you have various kin types in that sense. For me, someone can be for me when it comes to hybrids, biologically speaking, in the real world, a hybrid is the offspring of two different species, or the offspring that has genetic material of two different species in itself, or blended into itself as a mixture. And then the general definition of a hybrid, not biologically speaking, is just basically a thing made by combining different elements, a mixture. So, or a mixture or a blend. And so for me, I personally believe, someone can have two or more, or, a lot of different kin types or stereotypes and be a hybrid. And I think the perfect way for me to explain why I think that's possible is, for me, when I consider somebody, when I consider an otherkin, when I think about an otherkin hybrid, I think of somebody whose kin types or stereotypes are so blended or meshed together, so perfectly blended and combined and mixed together that their shifts are generally that their shifts and their urges and whatnot are generally intertwined. So if you're like a fairy and probably like a Wendigo or something like that. Like the traits of both of those kin types would be mixed together in that individual, and the shifts that they experience would be a blend or an even blend or mixture of both kin types or stereotypes in one individual. Or like they experience shifts of each kin type equally. Like they experience, fairy M shifts, phantom shifts, or whatnot, just as much or just equally as they would their Wendigo kin type shifts, M shifts, and whatnot. Now, to me, when it comes to chimeras, you know, chimeras, biologically speaking, are is an organism containing a mixture of genetically different tissues formed by processes such as fusion of early embryos, grafting, or mutation. So basically, in my opinion, since we can't use biologically speaking, since it's not in the biological sense that we have unicorn blood or vampire blood or whatever, just in the sense of otherkin, my idea of a chimera of an otherkin chimera is an individual with several kin types or stereotypes, and they experience these unevenly. Like I mean by unevenly, they experience these shifts from these various kin types or stereotypes randomly. They experience these sensations randomly and unevenly, and it's more of bits and pieces here and there instead of like evenly distributed throughout. So for me, when I think of another King Chimera, I think of an individual that experiences, shifts between, their fairy side or mermaid side or, lizard stereotype side and all these different traits, but unevenly and randomly. And, it might be limited to like body parts or it might be limited to, it might be limited to anything. But I think when it comes to this, the best way to sum it up, in my opinion, I think when it comes to otherkin hybrids, they are amalgamations, which they're just amalgamations. Like they're a perfect, evenly blended mixture of both of their kin types or of their kin types and stereotypes. Whereas, in my opinion, otherkin chimeras are more of a composite. They're more of basically something composed of various parts and pieces and bits. And to me, I think it's possible. I think it's a lot. I think it's a reasonable thing as long as someone can reasonably explain how they are able to manage all these kin types and stereotypes. then I think, the idea of hybrids and chimeras is not so absurd in the Otherkin community. This is Makanor. Like, comment, share, subscribe. I'm out.